So today I started working on a laundry list of ways that our government, right, and I'm going to say both parties, but in particular this administration, is using immigration as a weapon against the American people. But it's not just the American people who are suffering from them using people as a weapon. It's also the people they're using, because they're kind of being used as pawns. And one of the biggest ways I'm seeing them being used is for divide and conquer, to create a situation where Americans and immigrants might be upset with each other. And there's a very long list of how that's occurring, but basically, just by overloading communities and having all the people's tax dollars going towards immigrants and pretty much pushing the American people into poverty in a lot of communities to support the immigration is part of it, because that creates resentment. However, with any divide and conquer campaign, the way to beat it really is to realize who's doing it and to not fall victim for the divide and conquer. And who's doing it is the government that allowed so many people to cross the border without any real plan for how to house and take care of everyone other than to overtax the American people. Another way I'm seeing this being used as a weapon is to create terrorist scares, because on multiple occasions there were reports on our media saying that the government was afraid that they inadvertently let in all these terrorists that might cause some kind of... And basically, by creating a terrorist scare, that's terrorism, because that in itself is causing the fear, which would lead to a political objective. Another way I can see that immigration could be used as a weapon against the people is when it comes to colonization, because kind of the same thing happened in a lot of areas around the world which were being colonized. They had just boatloads of people from other lands just arrive and displace the original occupants. And although the American people aren't necessarily the original occupants, we could still be colonized in the same way, which it wouldn't be wrong to view it that way. Then there comes a situation where immigration can really help corporations at the expense of the American people, because it's kind of like outsourcing jobs, but it's actually insourcing jobs, or insourcing the labor from countries where the cost of living is way, way lower, so the people that come over wouldn't be expecting such high salaries or benefits like the American people might be expecting. And since a lot of cultures around the world have a practice of living together in extended families, they could really live comfortably in our economy, because they could have multiple incomes for one household, because that's what they're used to in their countries. So for corporations, that's a win. And for a government that doesn't care really about pushing the American people into poverty, and they even pass a law saying that people who are homeless can be arrested and thrown in jail. Yeah, again, another way of using immigration against the people. And if you look closely, it's not just the American people being abused, because being used as a pawn to create unrest and to create division and to use people for low salaries, all that is pretty nefarious. Not just against the American people, but also against the immigrant population that they're so graciously allowing to come into our country.